Is there any outcome you could achieve that you'd be willing to sell your conscience for if you could just get it done? Every time I read the second temptation of Jesus, my first thought is how ridiculous it seems. Of course, Jesus isn't going to become a devil worshiper. It doesn't take a spiritual genius to resist an offer like this. If you've read any fairy tale in your entire life, you know this kind of thing ends badly. You don't eat apples offered by strangers, follow a trail of cupcakes into an isolated college, or make any deals with the devil. Period. Who would believe that Jesus could even be tempted in this way? But this temptation isn't what it seems. Jesus has spent 30 years learning and praying and getting a clear picture in his mind of what God wants for the world. He's strong and he's wise. Most of the strong, wise people I know, even the strong and unwise people, are pretty sure they can see the problems with the world and what it would take to fix them, or at least to improve the situation. Almost all of us secretly suspect that if we were in charge, everybody would be better off. And here's the thing. We might even be right. Jesus has had a lot of time to reflect on the problems and solutions. He's had time to dream about a better world, to think about all the good he'd like to do. And then along comes God's opposition to say, Jesus, look what a mess this whole world is. You can solve this. You can save lives. You can fix all the problems. Wait, what? When did the devil become so pro-Jesus? What we have here is a poison pill wrapped in a creamy, expensive brie of demonic flattery. Of course Jesus wants all these nations. He's a caring person who hates all the violence and injustice. He knows that God wants the world to be just and whole. He even knows that God intends him to rule everything. The question isn't if Jesus has the right end goal in mind. The temptation is to try to achieve the right outcome by using the wrong methods. This temptation is very real for Jesus, as it is for any smart and strong and even good person. We know it's real in part because we'll see him struggle with it again on the last night of his life. It's a temptation to use a tyrant's tools to accomplish something good. But Jesus recognizes there's a trick up Satan's sleeve. If he uses evil means to secure the right ends, he'll poison the very thing he was trying to achieve. The means matter, not just the ends, because the methods we use always change the result. There's more than one way to get a good thing done. Some methods will always be tempting because they look so effective. We'll be tempted to choose them out of compassion, out of the desire to build something good. We'll convince ourselves that any form of power that gets good results must be okay. But this logic is a poison pill that evil's always trying to trick us into swallowing. Some methods will quickly kill the good result that they create. I have it on good authority that you can make an elegant 4-tier cake by mixing cement into the batter and exchanging icing for glue. The trouble is, the same methods that ensure even layers will make the cake inedible, at least without killing your guests. And good people have always been vulnerable to the lie that all that matters is intent and the worthiness of our goals. This is the devil's pitch to Jesus. But unlike the rest of us, Jesus sees through it. Use corrupted methods, and all he'll get is a mirage of the world that he dreams of. He'll think that he's making water when he's really making sand. For a lot of us, our aim isn't the problem. We want to be good people. We want the world to be a good place. The thing we won't see, unless we're paying attention to Jesus, is that the means that the world is truly changed forever by are different than we suppose. We can force change by lording power over people, but that kind of change is hollow and often just creates a backlash. There's another route to change that is more slow and subtle and vastly more unexpected. Only Jesus can show us that unexpected way. If you have great dreams for the world, that's awesome. There's important work to do. But Jesus shows us that the first and last battle we'll have to fight is against that seductive voice of evil trying to pull us off track by appealing to our ego or our impatience, trying to convince us to take shortcuts. There's no point in taking shortcuts that end up at the wrong place. If we don't consider our methods carefully, we may end up playing for the wrong side, even while pursuing something good. Let's read the story in Luke 4. 5-8. Then the devil took Jesus up and revealed to him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment in time. I'll give you the glory of these kingdoms and authority over them, the devil said, because they're mine to give to anyone I please. I will give it all to you if you'll worship me. Jesus replied, the scriptures say you must worship the Lord your God and serve only Him. I'm Megan Larissa Good. This is Reading Jesus. If you'd like to join me in conversation about this story or others, you can go to patreon.com/Jesus Collective Community and look for the Luke 4 post. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.